If it comes to advice, I would just say, just fucking do it, man. Whatever it is, just take the first step. And after that, you mess up or you hit success. You're lucky enough to hit success in a short run. It doesn't matter, but just take the first step. That's something that I would always say all the youngsters, just take the first step.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Nonversations. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Abdul and you're here with the boys. We have Jason Hulangamo, Shavi the Bandanaika, and we have a very special guest on with us. He's an OG from Saudi and Jason has a few words for him.
Alright, yeah. So today's guest is yet another special individual in his own way. He has his own podcast going on right now, the Mugshot, studied accounting and finance at the Segi University in Malaysia. He was born in the LK, grew up in the Middle East and rocks on in Malaysia. The MC from the ME, Sizan, Ameer.
Welcome bro, welcome.
Welcome on the podcast.
Thank you guys. Thank you. So there's a lot of research done there. Okay.
I know you've done a lot since I knew you in Sri Lanka. I mean in Saudi Arabia. So we have a long journey. We want to know a lot of stories. But thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, bro.
And also, isn't the time there like 12:30 or 1 in the morning?
It's 1:30. I work from 6 p.m. till 12. So I just finished work.
Putting in the extra shift pass.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate it, yeah.
No worries, bro.
But yeah, I'm gonna start this off with I want to know your story, bro. From the start, like I knew you in Saudi Arabia, you in SLIS, Riyadh, and now you're in KL, you're running your own company. How's that journey? How did it all start?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Abdurrahman knows this. When I came to school, I was never the kid, like the smart kid in the class. I was always the average kid. And I was one of those kids who always got into trouble for everything. So so that was there. And then so once I finished school, so I was not really willing to do my degree. So but then my parents had this idea that you had to do a degree. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I moved to Malaysia in 2015. Yeah. So I was studying and. Not to lie, like most of my classes were only about 4 to 5 hours, and I was dating this girl at that time, and I broke up. So I was going through this whole depression shit. So I was wondering what to do. So because most of the time I was either in class and then I go back home. I'm just having this long distance relationship. So, and surprisingly, my housemate, a good friend of mine, he broke up as well. So we were trying to figure out what we want to do in life. So my friend came up with this idea, let's start working. So my first job was I was a cashier for a restaurant, and they pay me like $6 per hour. So we were working about 8 hours a day, and just to keep ourselves busy. And it was like 1 month we did the job, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing, man? Like I'm getting like $500 for working for this long. It's like that's crazy. So I don't want to do this.
6 ringgits, you mean? Or?
Yeah, 6 ringgit. They pay us like 6 ringgit for 1 hour. And this restaurant we used to work in was a Japanese restaurant. So it was shit, man. Trust me, it was shit. So I was like, okay, I don't think I want to do this. So the first time I went to a club was 6 months after I came to Malaysia. So I went to the club, and so I loved the scene. So I went in and I started, going to clubs again and again. Then I realized I was spending way more than I get back from my parents. So I approached this guy. He was handling the PR for the club. He was doing the whole PR and marketing and all that. So I told him like I would like to work with you, and he told me he doesn't hire Sri Lankans for some reason. I don't know.
See, he
So
just straight up said that like Sri Lankans he doesn't hire.
yeah, he was like, I'm not interested in hiring Sri Lankans. I don't know what was the reason,
What
but
the
he told.
fuck? That's
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that was fine. So, and then one of my classmates, he was already in the nightlife scene, so he's a DJ, a well-known DJ in Malaysia. So I started going out with him. So we were going out and that stuff. So I was like, okay, let's work out something. And we started working out. I was helping my friend promote his place, the nights he was spinning. And from there, I was like, you know what, I think we can do this. So we just started approaching everyone. To be honest, we didn't know what our deal to ask them or how much they're going to pay us. We didn't know anything. We didn't know shit. To be honest, we didn't know shit. I was 18, 19. Yeah. So we didn't know shit. So we were like, okay, it's okay. Just whatever free drinks or whatever party you get to go, let's just go. So that's how we started. And then I was working for this place about 6 months. And I was working for a guy called King Luther. So I was working with him for 6 months, and surprisingly, we did really well. So then we started getting offers from other places. So I realized, okay, I was not making the money I was supposed to make. So I was being used. Basically, I was being used. And no disrespect to the guy, but we were being used. So I was like, so I told him I'm going to leave. I have better offer on the table. So we moved to another place, and I was there for a while. That's when I started making actual money, to the point that I didn't have to have my parents' support anymore. So I was on my own after that. So from that point, it was going well. And then this new club opened up, and this club was it can fit in about 2,000 people. So it's a massive club, and they approached us. So when they approached me, I was like, I wasn't sure if I can do it, because 2,000 packs, because we were going to run the club from Wednesday till Sundays. Because Malaysia, you have the crazy party side where, people party from Wednesday till Sundays.
Yeah.
So, and trying to fill a club that can fit, even if I have like 400 packs, right, the club is going to look empty. So it was like, okay, let's see what we can do with it. So we started off there, and when I started at that place, a lot of my friends told me like, don't leave the previous place we were doing, because that place was already well established. Mm-hmm. So obviously this place offered us a better deal, like money that, like proper money that you can ball and all that. So I was like, okay, fine. So we started working at that place, and I was there about 1 year, and we became like the best place in KL at that point. Like my Thursday nights was crazy. So all these top clubs, other clubs used to hate me because they wanted me to come and work for them, and we couldn't go there.
Jeez.
So we started stealing all there. It was amazing, man, because for us to compete with clubs like that was a big thing. It was a very big thing, because we were stealing their customers. So obviously they didn't like it, but we were doing pretty good at that point. So we were there, and then I had some misunderstanding, so we left. And at that point, the guy who, told me that he won't hire me, he comes up to me and he says, let's be partners. So
fuck, okay.
So I was like, okay, fine. I like the idea, because he had a different concept, because I was tired of clubs. I was doing this for 3 years. So I was like, okay, it's time we move into concerts and stuff, right? So he had the same idea. So we were like, okay, fine, let's merge our companies and we work together. So we worked together about a year, and we had our own misunderstanding. So we split, and then I was doing my own thing. So yeah, that's how the company started, and a small story of it.
Bro, that's a pretty cool story, dude. Like, how long were you in Malaysia for?
Next month is going to be my 6 years.
6 years.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a long time.
So
Man.
like with the whole club, you're in the like club event scene and all that stuff. So how did COVID and all, did that affect you in any way, or was there any type of workaround around it?
No, COVID definitely ruined a lot of things for us, because we were having bigger plans for 2020, because last year, sorry, we started off with a new concert, that idea we came up with. We wanted to push the local scene, because I work with a lot of local artists, rappers and DJs and all of them. So we started this idea of having a concert every 3 months. So we started pushing for it from January last year, and it was going really well. Like that was one point that we were doing really well, and we made bookings for 6 months. So artists were booked for 6 months, venues were booked for 6 months, and then when they announced the whole lockdown, it was March 18th. Yeah, March 18th. So we thought it's going to be just for a 1 month thing, and we can be back to normal. So at that point I was like, it's fine, because I needed a break too. I was doing this for too long, so I was like, I needed a break. But then it has been almost a year now, and obviously most of my team are now aren't working right now. So right now what we are doing is we are working with bars. We are trying to work out things with bars, because we have the SOPs and all that affects us a lot. We can't operate at full capacity. So right now we're trying to work around with bars, see if we can do something about it, because right now entertainment outlets are not allowed. So no DJs, no music and all that. So it's a big
yeah, you guys are probably hit really bad because of it now.
Yeah, and like the worst part, like at least us, because we are into PR, marketing and all that, we still have some hope. But then the DJs and artists and all of them, like to be honest, I see a lot of them struggling, like personally I know. So I would say it's a turn off, man. Such a bad turn off.
Especially even here as well, like in Berlin, you get so many DJs suffering so much because all the clubs here are closed, and like Berlin in particular has like so many. It ran on clubs, right? It ran on people coming and then partying, and all of those closed. And like there's so many like protests now because the government is barely giving any money to the club scene. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing in KL maybe. So there's barely any support from the government as well. So yeah, I can imagine how fucked up and tough it is over there.
Are things getting better in Malaysia in terms of like Corona and stuff? Because I don't really know what it's like.
No, bro. It's actually getting worse. As of today, they are considering another full lockdown.
That's tough.
Because today was the highest case since Corona started, so they're considering another lockdown.
Is this the third time they're applying to lockdown or second?
No, the first one was like a proper lockdown for 2 weeks, and then after that they opened up a bit, right? But since then it has been like on and off. Like they operate till 10 p.m, 12, and one point we went till 2 a.m. But right now I think it's going to go back to 8 p.m. and you can't go out and all that. So it's not confirmed yet, but as for the news today, they're considering.
But I have a question, like what sort of advice do you have for young startups? Because like everyone, like I appreciate the fact that you've done all this in about 6 years time. You've gone through so many struggles on the way to get where you are. And now it's tough, now it's hard to say where things are going. But even to get where you are now, it didn't come easy. It's a lot of hard work and effort. Do you have any advice for like young people starting up, and like if they have any passion or anything like that, what would you say?
If it comes to advice, I would just say just fucking do it, man. Because I'm pretty sure not the idea that you have, whether it's a business or whether you want to do something, right? Not everyone is going to support you. That's something that I personally know. So whatever it is, if you believe in yourself, just fucking do it. Don't consider whatever other people are saying, because let's say if you have an idea and everyone supports you for 100%, that means you're doing it wrong. I mean, that's what I believe in. Because when you're doing the right thing, you're always going to have haters. Like me personally, right? One example I can give you is like, even if our night is really good, right? Someone is going to spread a rumor saying there's going to be a raid, or they're going to be the club is not happening and all that. So you have to face all those. So whatever idea you have or whatever your vision in life is, just do it. Don't wait for other people's opinion. Just take the first step, because most of us, the biggest mistake we do is that we don't take the first step. You might have a great idea, but you listen to your friends, family, they tell you, oh, don't do it, and then you just stop. So just do it. Whatever it is, just take the first step. And after that, you mess up or you hit success, you're lucky enough to hit success in a short run, it doesn't matter, but just take the first step. That's something that I would always say all the youngsters, just take the first step.
That's
But
true.
saying that kind of makes me want to ask you, like, with hindsight, is there anything that you did that maybe you felt like you should have done differently, looking back, or
I I honestly have a lot of things that I wished I did different, but end of the day, it's a learning process, right? We all learn through
yeah, exactly.
all your mistakes, because I personally know I have messed up a lot because when we started with the whole new concert ideas when we were doing, we messed up a lot, and I was bleeding from my pocket. I at one point I didn't know how I was going to pay my staff. How I was going to pay my artist, and my sponsors were behind my ass asking us, "What's happening? Is not what you promised us," and all that. So obviously there are mistakes, that everyone does mistakes, but as long as you take those mistakes and you try to learn from that, I think it's fine. So I wouldn't consider them as regrets, but yeah, obviously I wished I did
Lessons
things
rather,
different.
yeah.
Lessons.
I think that's what a lot of people should also remember. Like, they shouldn't be afraid of fucking up, because there's always next time. Depends, but usually, usually there's a next time.
Like I said, obviously nothing is going to come at one shot, right? Nothing is going to come at one shot. You're definitely going to face a lot of things, because when you look back, like when I look back at 19 years old me, I was very stupid. So like I was just having fun, wasting all the money I had. I wished I put those money back into investments and all that. But then when I look back at it, I was 19. So what do you expect from a 19-year-old kid? So it's fine as long as you don't repeat the mistake you did before. It's fine.
Okay, that makes sense. But I want to talk about your podcast, bro. And
Yeah, sure.
Even the name itself, Mugshot, it's pretty cool name. Like, how did you come up with the name, and the idea of the podcast? What was the thought process in starting the podcast, and what did you vision for the podcast to be?
Okay, so the whole idea for the podcast was I actually wanted to do this for about a year ago, but I never had. Being very honest, I was very scared. I hate my voice. To be honest, I hate my voice. So
I guess that's everyone, right? I mean,
Yeah, everyone.
So-
no one
everyone
likes the
feels
sound of their
about
own
themselves,
voice.
So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I spoke to a friend of mine. He's a club MC, so he does the whole hype thing, and I go with the formal side of it. So that was the plan, and we wanted to do it like a YouTube thing, but it didn't work out. So I was like, I was bored at home. I was at home for 1 month, so I was like, okay, let me start this off. So when I started it, I was looking around for names, and I didn't want some lame name. So I think that was the time this whole mugshot trend was going on. So I just took the name from there.
No, but I think it really conveys what you're trying to do with, like putting someone on the spotlight and like getting their story out, sort of thing. That's kind of what you're going for, right?
Yeah.
Based on the podcast that you put out with, who was it? I think the one I found particularly good was the one with the girl. Joanna, I think.
Or Joanna.
Yeah, Joanna.
That one was pretty interesting, because like she had to go through a struggle and all that. So you're putting all that on the spotlight and trying to show other people. Guessing that's what you kind of want to do with the podcast.
Yeah. So basically the idea was because whoever it is, they don't really have to be someone really famous, because like Joanna is a very famous person in KL, right? So other than that, anyone, if they have a story that if I can learn a thing or two, or who is listening to it, I don't know how many people listen to it, but yeah, who is listening to it, if they learn a thing or two from it. So that was the idea, just don't give up, because I had D-Kid. He's an African artist. He's a rapper and MC and all that. So he had his struggles, and a few other people. For them to come and share their life lesson, it was something. So that was the whole idea of the whole mugshot. So we're just trying to convey a message. Whatever struggle you're going through, you're not alone in it.
But that's the best way to have a podcast, to just have people tell their stories and like find inspiration from it. That's why, like, when we try to get guests on, also we try to get people with some stories. They don't have to be famous, they don't have to be a big personality, but they just have to have like true heartfelt stories, you know,
Yeah.
from like a teenager to growing up to how it feels, you know, to live out in the real world. But even when we started also, dude, like we took like a month of preparation, and you know, it was a tough effort, dude. Like Jason was the guy who initiated the whole thing. He's randomly, you know, hit me up. He's like, bro, let's start a podcast. And I was thinking about it for like at least a couple of months. I was talking to a friend about this, and you know, the whole idea just formed when Jason hit me up and told me about it. Yeah, so that's how it went.
So what okay, my question to you guys, so let me throw a question. So what was the biggest struggle you guys had when you guys want to start your podcast?
Getting used to own voices, for me at least.
Okay.
That's one thing, but I think personally for me it was the whole process of putting it up on YouTube and for it to be like pleasant, like in the sense where it's edited well, and you know, to work around that, because we knew nothing about, you know, editing videos and just creating content, stuff like that. But that was like also like a learning process, and I think that was one of the toughest things. But like now you get used to it, because we are about 6, 7, 8 months in, I think. Now we're used to it, but like that was one of the struggles for me at least.
And also, I think like the fact that what we were going to put out was like, it was literally going to be like anyone in the world could view it. Like, I'm not saying there's that many people who watch it, but anyone would see what we put out. So like we couldn't just put out a video of the three of us being like fools or something on the internet. So we had to make sure like doing something that we enjoy it as well as something that other people would enjoy. And I think that, at least for me, I felt that that was a huge part that we had to think of. But I don't think we really thought of it back then. We just did it and we put it out.
No, but I think like even though it's tough to create content, I think we enjoyed quite a lot. So I mean, it's fun to do it, you know, even though we're not getting as much for the effort we put in. But it's just like a slow progress, and hopefully, you know, we can get somewhere with it.
Yeah, exactly. You just put yourself out, then whoever enjoys your content will come, right? That's the
whole idea.
Exactly.
Everyone listening should definitely check out Mugshot. If you guys didn't already, Mugshot by Sizan. At least like I think 5 or 6 episodes out.
No, I started off, I was planning to do it every Sunday, but then I started a new business, so I was caught up with that, and I was not consistent. I mean, I have about 10 episodes recorded, but I haven't edited any of them. So
shit.
So I was not consistent. So I was just trying to find things, you know, because it's mostly so I started something with medical supplies. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I just go out and then come back home. By the time I'm home, I'm dead, and then I do another job with the bar. So I was not consistent. So yeah, I have about eight episodes, I think. So I'm planning to like get it proper this time and do it.
But dude, I gotta ask you now. Last episode, these guys asked me a question. What I missed the most about Saudi Arabia? I want to ask you, but you live there. The majority of your life, you know? What do you miss the most about Saudi Arabia?
What do I miss? I think there's a lot of things I miss, man, from Saudi. I was talking to my friends yesterday about this.
Yeah.
I think one is the food, definitely the food. I mean, Malaysia, yes, they do have good food. They have Arabic food, but
too. Yeah.
But I wouldn't say the Arab food in Malaysia is good as what you have in Saudi.
Oof.
So that's one thing, definitely. And then I think is the vibe you had in Saudi back then was way better. It's more calm, it's more chill, less stress. I mean, yeah, we were in school, so obviously, so you didn't have all that. But right now it's more of, you know, a stressful life and all that. So I think those are the two things I miss about Saudi.
Yeah, but it has to be the food. Like these guys asked me, I actually forgot about the food. And you remember Nimaz Sheikh, Yazid?
Yeah.
Dude commented saying, bro, you forgot about the food. Like, what are you doing or some shit?
No, you can't forget the food.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't know. Malaysia has good food too. I mean, that's true. Like, I honestly enjoyed. Like, it's pretty decently cheap, and
Yeah.
comparatively, and the shisha also is beautiful there. All of that. But yeah, the food's pretty amazing in Saudi.
And then the cars, I think the cars, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
you really have good cars. You rent them for what, like $100?
Oh,
in Malaysia,
yeah.
you don't have. In Malaysia, you can't. You only have local cars, and imported cars are like shit expensive. So, I think cars are as well.
But dude, on the news today, you could see all the drama and the shit that's going down in the US, with Trump and with the White House and all of that. What are your thoughts about that? That's like the hot news right now. Everyone's talking about it. I want to hear your take on it.
I think to be honest, as a personal thing, I just feel like it's karma for them.
That's fair.
That's fair, right?
They have
That's
missed
fair.
because they have messed up. To be honest, yeah. Maybe they did the right thing. I'm not sure about that, but they have messed up a lot of countries, and I think they're just facing the same thing now. And to be honest, I don't believe that Biden is going to be bringing a big difference either.
I think the
Yeah,
whole
Personally, I feel
that's something people miss. I think people I guess Trump is worse than Biden. At least you can say that. But I think people miss the fact that Biden's not going to be that much better.
yeah.
I think it's just the mentality that a lot of people have in that country that needs to change.
But
I
it's
think.
but then Simpsons predicting almost every single thing that happens.
According
Even
to
the riots and
the-
the Civil War sort of scene is also on this thing, dude.
Yeah.
I saw this meme. It said January 21st, 2021.
Yeah, 20th.
It's close enough, It's close enough.
If that happens, dude, then you gotta take Simpsons as the gospel or some shit. Cause what the hell?
That's hilarious, bro. That's hilarious.
Because what I personally feel is that US is going to have like a major change, because you see it's going to be something like a civil war. That's one thing for sure, because Trump is not going to get out of office that easily. He's going to fight till, I don't know, God knows how long. And then I don't think it's going to end well for either sides.
But the headlines today, literally said they're planning to invoke the 25th Amendment. And the only reason I know what that is because I watched a movie and it said, some movie about, the White House going down and like terrorists attacking and stuff. And they said 25th Amendment is where they put the president out of power. And they're literally discussing whether to put Trump out of power, even though there's 10 days left. Just above 10 days left, they're still actually planning to put him out of power, because they say, that 10 days he could do a lot. He could stir up so much riots and all protests and stuff like that, and could cause havoc. So that's pretty crazy, I think, that they're actually considering it also.
I think they're banning his they're suspending his social media as well. I think.
Oh yeah, they did.
I saw that as well.
Facebook and Twitter, he has no access to it.
Exactly, dude. That's fucked. But getting him out of the president's seat is not gonna suddenly stop his supporters from being like, okay, yeah, whatever, we're gonna stop now. That's if anything, it's gonna make it worse, right? Then they'll be like, oh, there's this huge conspiracy against Trump, and they'll just riot even more, because that's the kind of thinking I think his supporters have. And I think it's gonna be a lot worse over there.
So I guess that's about it. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Honestly, for jumping on, because I literally I messaged you 2-3 months ago. I told you we're interested in getting you on at least 2 months ago, and I couldn't get back to you because it's very hard to schedule with guests. Also, we had lots of trouble because we wanted to be consistent, put out episodes weekly. That's what we try to do on Mondays, something like that. But it's hard to schedule sometimes, with different guests, and you just agreed in about 2 days and you had no problem about it. So really appreciate that, bro. And
no worries, man. No worries. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Be sure to check out Mugshot. Some inspirational stories there. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. And that's it.
Thanks.
That's the end of another episode, boys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
I'm losing time again, trying to figure out who I